تلتحق بنا بحضورها اللافت صاحبة خبرة طويلة في التنمية والعمل الإنساني حيث النزاعات والحروب، سعادة السيدة سوزان ميخائيل، المديرة الإقليمية لهيئة الأمم المتحدة للمرأة للدول العربية.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is a true honor for me to be with you here today, even if it's virtually, because surely I would have preferred to be with you physically in beautiful Morocco. And I'm also excited to dive into a number of issues that are of critical importance when it comes to gender equality and women's empowerment, such as women's participation. Now, women's participation benefits all. It is a simple truth these days that has been evidenced in ample research and studies. We know for a fact, for example, that if women are part of decision-making bodies, they are particularly prone to find solutions across party lines. This means solutions that are across ideologies, across religion, across political affiliations. And I'm thinking, in the world we live in today, marked by volatility, instability, polarization, what merit and capacity do we need more than this? The capacity to reach out, understand different point of views. For that reason, I particularly commend the ICE-SCO that is gathering us here today for the Year of Women 2021 to listen and pay very close attention to the stories, experiences, knowledge of a number of really inspirational women. Under the high patronage of His Majesty King Mohammed VI, today's conversation highlights the explicit prioritization of gender equality and women's empowerment at the very highest state level in Morocco. And today's event also strongly demonstrates ICE-SCO's critical role in promoting women's leadership in the cultural, educational, and scientific spheres. Ladies and gentlemen, and my dear friends, women have increased engagement, and quite dramatically so, in decision-making platforms and as decision-making roles, or in decision-making roles. But it's not more than fair to say that while we have achieved tremendous advantages, we do have a long way to go. On a global level, for example, only 21% of ministers are women, and only 3 countries have 50% or more female participation in parliaments, and only 22 countries are headed by a woman. Now, at the current rate, gender equality will not be achieved amongst heads of states before the year 2150. That's in 130 years from now. Now, if we zoom in to our own region, the Arab states, also here significant advancements have been made. The number of ministers in cabinets have gone up, women ministers, of course. The number of women representatives in parliaments have gone up, female judges up, ambassadors up, speakers of parliament, executive, professors. All these numbers have increased, and that is all commendable. At the same time, women in parliament in our region still hovers around 16%, 16.5 to be more exact. And when it comes to women economic empowerment, we still hover around 21%, with a global average of 49%. Having said that, there are tremendous variations between countries and also within countries. But the point is this, that if we would ensure gender parity in the workforce, if women in the MENA region would be part of the workforce on par with men, then that participation, together with equal participation of other parts of the world, would have added 28 trillion US dollars, or an increase in 26% of GDP until 2025. Now, if these trillions of dollars, if this revenue was important 2 or 3 years ago, I would say it's critical now in post-COVID economic recovery phase. And businesses are increasingly aware of the great advantages of gender equality. Because here again, evidence and studies shows that for each 10% increase in gender equality in a private firm or a business leads directly to a 1 to 2% increase in revenue. Now the good news is that to ensure this, we don't need, or rather this doesn't necessitate dramatic shifts in commitments or new agreements. We have most of the agreements in place. We have the Agenda 2030 with the 17 sustainable goals. We have the Beijing declarations, and more importantly, we have the national plans. Commitments are there and the targets are there. Simply acceleration and scaling up is what is needed when we look ahead. The Generation Equality Forum is actually a quite interesting tool when it comes to joining forces also with academia, private sector, financial institutions for that very acceleration. And here again, I do need to commend Morocco for the Women Economic Empowerment Atamatkin Plan up to 2030, which has very concrete actions and very concrete and measurable indicators to increase economic inclusion of women in Morocco. Also, I want to take this opportunity to commend Morocco when it comes to the exemplary work when it comes to the gender responsive budgeting. This piece of work has actually been given as a good example, as a brilliant example, and has been shared not only in the region but globally.
للأسف انقطعت الكلمة قبل أن تنتهي، لكن كانت الفكرة الأساسية والرئيسية قد وصلت.